Welcome to the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast, where we don't take from insurance companies. Here are your hosts, Mr. Jordon Comstock and Mr. Ben Tuine. This podcast is sponsored by BoomCloud Dental Membership Software, www.boomcloudapps.com, and Veritas Dental Resources, www.veritasdentalresources.com. Enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, this is Ben Tuine and Jordon Comstock. Real quick here, we wanted to announce our conference that's coming up here November 3rd, 2018 here in Salt Lake City, 2nd. Utah. Sorry, November 2nd. That's why it's always great to have a co-host. You like the still small voice in the back of my head. In this case, it was a nice bass sound. November 2nd.
November 2nd.
Yeah. So November 2nd, folks, check out our website, saynotoppos.com to register. Just click on the 2000, what does it say there? Events.
Yeah, it's saynotoppos.com/event-2018. If you go to the homepage of our website, you'll see it right there at the top of the menu as well. So it doesn't really matter if you go directly to that link we said. Ben, should we share a promo code right now?
Yeah. So the promo code that we thought of is INS, abbreviation for insurance. So INS sucks. So INS sucks is the promo code, and you'll get 50% off if you register there. Anything else, Jordan?
No, that's it, man. We hope to see you guys there. Rock and roll.
Looking forward to it.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Navigating Dental Insurance Podcast. I am your co-host today, Jordon Comstock. I got with me on the line Ben Tuine, the other co-host. Ben, what's up, dog?
What's up, Jordan? Man, love The Office, man. Love the digs. This is actually our first ever episode where we're in the same building at the same time.
I know, man.
Yeah. 2 years, and congratulations on making that happen.
Yeah, so we're just hanging out here at the BoomCloud offices. Ben's in the other room, just chilling. And we're just hanging out. Today, we are celebrating our 100th episode.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So we've been doing the podcast for 2 years now, Ben, right?
Yeah, 2 years. It's so funny. When we thought of doing this, we really didn't know what was going to happen in terms of listenership. But
yeah,
we just went to a conference in Vegas last week, the same one that I got kicked out of, and surprisingly, there were a lot of people that were there that listened to our podcast, and so we just want to extend a thank you to those that have found us, that believe in us, and believe in the fact that, hopefully our BS kind of helps you out a little bit. but that, the information and content on the podcast, we truly hope it's something that is relevant and useful to practices. So thank all of you for listening for the last 2 years.
Yes, it's been awesome. So today I got a special guest on the show. I'm bringing my dad, Kelly Comstock, from Salt Lake Dental Lab to the show. Dad, what's up, man?
Hey, Jordy. Good to be here. Holy cow. 100th show. That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
My dad only said he'd come on our show if we started getting some real traction, so he's finally coming onto our show.
That's great fatherly support right there. That's awesome.
There you go.
I'm teasing. Yeah, Dad, thanks for coming on the show. So my dad has been in the industry for quite some time. Over 35 years, Dad, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. About 36, 37 years.
Okay. In the dental industry, he owns Salt Lake Dental Lab, and that's kind of where I got my background in the industry was all there in the lab. I grew up being a part of the lab, as many of you heard me talk about on our show, and my dad as well. He grew up part of the lab because my grandpa, or my dad's dad, also owned the dental lab. So dentistry is in our blood. So it's really cool to have you a part of our show today.
That's cool. Hey, Kelly, is that photo on your website current within the last couple of years?
Yeah, a couple of years, yeah.
That's cool. I mean, you've been in the lab business for, Jordan said, 37 years?
Yeah.
So longer than Jordan's been alive. You don't look that old. You and your wife look pretty young, though.
Yeah, they look pretty young. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you got some good genes there.
It's genetic. I still look like I'm 18, Ben.
A lot of people in dental refer to Jordan as baby Zac Efron.
Dad, do you even know who Zac Efron is, Dad?
Yes, I know who Zac Efron is, but Ben, don't give me ammunition like that for Jordan, because I like to tease. So that will be used. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will be.
I'll give you a lot. I'll give you a lot offline.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about digital dentistry, and my dad over the years has become an expert. His lab that he owns has been in the dental industry since 1906.
Ooh,
so
wow.
Yeah, it's old. In fact, if you go to their website, they've got some pictures of the old dental lab, and they still have some of the old machines at the lab that they still run, right, Dad?
Yeah, I've got a Baldor motor that still runs, and it's got a stamp date on it of 1907. So wow, pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the photos there. Is that Moses or Jesus?
It's one of them.
Pretty crazy.
Crazy. It is pretty crazy. So my family has seen a lot of change in the dental industry, and we've seen a lot of awesome things happen, especially in terms of digital dentistry, which we're going to be talking about today. So, Dad, why don't you tell a little bit about how did you get involved in the lab? I don't even know if I know this story. I know obviously Grandpa was owned the dental lab, but what made you get involved with the dental lab?
I like you, Jord, I spent a lot of time coming into the lab when I was really young, and I just loved it. At the time, there were 35 technicians, and so they were all really cool to me as a kid, and I got to make impressions and mix up stone, and I just was intrigued by the process, and I was pretty proud of my dad. I looked up to my dad, and I wanted to be like him. And that was pretty huge for me. After serving a mission and getting out of high school, I went to the U thinking I wanted maybe to be a dentist.
Uh-huh.
But as I was working in the lab, there was so much to learn. We're a full service lab, and I just fell in love with it, and started doing, working part-time, a delivery boy. I ran cases. I loved interacting with the doctors and the office people, and it felt right. My dad had a good living doing lab work, and so I just thought, yeah, this is something I can get into. It's mine, and I can control it, and I can get off work when I want, go hang out with my twin boys and my daughter, and that was hugely important to me. So that's kind of what kept me going. And it was very appealing, satisfying, I guess is the right word, of making a denture and putting it in somebody and seeing them cry. I'll never forget, me and Dad or Grandpa, to you, Jordan, we made a little denture for a 12-year-old boy that had been shot with a .22.
Oh,
And when he came into the lab, his mom was there, and we're doing some fittings, and the doctor who we were working with, it was really a custom deal, and he would come down and we'd kind of do things at the lab. And I remember the day that we got it all finished and we put it in his mouth, and his mom had said, after we put it in his mouth and got it fixed and he looked in the mirror, he broke a smile, and his mom just started sobbing and said, he has not smiled since the shooting. And that struck me. That really hit me hard. And one of the things we say to patients when they leave our lab, one of my techs, my denture guy,
Davey?
he'll always, when he gives them, Dave, he'll always say, once we give them their dentures or whatever we're doing for them, keep smiling, and that's kind of stuck in our lab, is that we take great joy in helping people have good smiles. So
yeah,
that's a little bit, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's such an honorable profession. I mean, people undervalue the career, their careers in dentistry, whether you're on the lab side or even if you bill insurance. It's a life-changing profession,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
for your years of involvement in dentistry, I'm sure, Kelly, that you've seen a lot of changes in the industry, how things have evolved, especially when it comes to this whole digital age. The old impressions that you used to take, which last year I took some impressions to get a mouth guard. But most practices have shied away from using any of that type of material, and they've moved towards this area of digital dentistry. Can you speak to the importance of digital dentistry as it pertains in today's world?
Yeah. Just yesterday I was talking to one of my dental supply reps, and they sell all kind of scanners. And I asked her, I've known this lady for 15 years. I've been buying from her. And I said, talk to me about what scanners are selling well, and what's your thoughts? And she says, my first thought is, if doctors aren't going to get on top of this digital age, digital dentistry, whatever you want to call it, he says in the next year, they're going to be behind the 8 ball. They're going to be behind.
Yeah.
And in dentistry, even in lab, with labs, I think if we wouldn't have made the digital change back in, when did we do that, George? 6-7 years ago?
Yeah,
2010?
it was towards the end when I was there. Yeah, I would say, you started investing quite early, actually, than most labs did, before you got what you have today in the lab. But I'd say you were pretty quick in making that decision. So but I saw the numbers of the labs like in 2008, 10. I think there were 16,200 some odd labs across the United States, and by the time of the 2016, it was well in the 6,000. So labs that were not making the change, they soon became, they just closed their doors. So I don't know if it might be true somewhat for dentist offices also. I think that it's a game changer. For instance, like impressions. For years, we've had these impressions. We make the crown up, and for whatever reason, the crown didn't work. The doctor would retake the impression, send that to us. We'd have to remake the crown, most of the time for no charge, which is not good for labs. But in the digital age, number one, I have very few remakes, less than 1%. And
Wow.
The great thing is before, when an impression or a crown didn't work, they'd just send it back and just say remake, and nobody really talked about why it didn't remake. Nobody really knew, because of all the information that was taken from the mouth and then sent to the lab. Nobody really knew, and labs didn't want to say, well, the doctor, you screwed up, and most doctors didn't want to say lab screwed up. But with digital, the doctor checks it, sees it, marks his margins, and it works. It's so accurate.
Totally.
That I don't have remakes digitally. And man, that saves chair time for the doctors. It saves me remake, but most of all, it saves me and the doctor from blaming each other. And that is so refreshing. I can deal with the doctor. If I see a scan I don't like, I call them up and say, hey, little question on this margin, or the scan came out, there's some junk on it, or for some reason. But they catch that usually in the office, so I don't have to deal with that much.
Yeah.
So, that's awesome. It just made my life so much easier. I love the lab work, but doing it 20 years, I got kind of burned out. But the digital aspect of it has just made me love it again. It's just awesome, ton of fun.
Yeah,
So,
no, I agree, because I think when I started learning the lab stuff, I learned how to cast and all that stuff, and I made that transition with you when I was there at the lab, and it definitely became a lot more enjoyable. And I think that's the same for on the dental side, right? The practice side, where it becomes a lot more enjoyable for the team members and the dentist to participate in digital dentistry.
Right. Go ahead, Ben.
No, go ahead, Kelly. You first.
Back to my supply person who sells to both dentists and labs. I thought that was amazing what she said. If you're in the next year, if you're not moving toward digital, you're going to be behind.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, wow, thinking of my lab, I'm so glad we got our a printer in the lab now. And it's just, you got to stay up on this technology. Otherwise you're playing catch up. So
yeah,
I agree. I was going to say what you're describing is awfully similar to credentialing services. Now we've sort of shied away from doing insurance credentialing for dentists over the years, simply because when insurance carriers made mistakes on the credentialing, guess who the client blamed? They mistakenly blame the folks that have nothing to do with processing an application. and when you make things efficient in terms and what you're talking about with the digital age of things and correcting all of these issues, I mean, I just hope and wish that that something comes out on the insurance side, which has to come from the insurance industry, to streamline so many of these different processes between dental practice and insurance company, like the digital impressions have done, to improve things. So I'm excited for this movement with what's going on the lab side, because I hope it trickles down to the insurance side of things as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, Dad, from your perspective, how can digital dentistry help a practice? What are the benefits?
Well, I think the best. Number one, the patients love them. I don't know if you have either one of you guys ever had a digital scan?
Just practicing it when just with practice.
Oh yeah, right,
never
yeah,
had
yeah.
Like a real thing, yeah.
Have you had a regular impression taken, Ben? Like for a crown or?
Last year I did, and it was so here's my experience with it. I took that impression. 10 months later, my teeth are shifting. And I imagine it's because they couldn't reach my molars all the way in the back. So when I put this mouth guard in, I can't remember what tooth numbers they are, but on my lowers, there's a huge gap between my back molars and the ones in front of them. And I was just thinking the other day, I was like, you know what? If I got these impressions done digitally, the lab work would have been probably a lot different to prevent the shifting of my teeth, at least the back two teeth. Sorry, go ahead with what you're going to say. I just wanted to share that. A personal experience. I think that digital impressions would have been the better way to go.
Yeah. So, well, the comfort for the patient is the huge part. About a year ago, I had so patient experience is huge. About a year ago, I had an accident in my garage where a 2x4 hit me in the mouth, and I have some veneers and some cosmetic work done, and I lost number 8 about a year later, just because of the trauma. And I went into my doctor, and he took his scanner and scanned it for my future implant. And I got out of the chair and I said, "Doc," I gave him a big hug. I says, because I'm a gagger. I hate things.
Me too. That's genetic.
And I had to make me a simple 1-tooth flipper that I struggled wearing. I just hated this thing. And the impression was so awesome that he scanned it. Man, it was done. So patient comfort, I think, is huge. Patients appreciate it. And I think eventually patients are going to, they get educated, and they're going to say to their dentist, "Hey, why don't let's do a digital impression. I don't want this." They know about digital impressions. In the future, it's going to get more. They're going to be educated more, and their impressions are not fun. Period. I've never met anybody that, "Oh, please take an impression on me." They don't want them, right? They're hard. So I think that's huge. They're not accurate. every time you take an impression and then have to pour it up, that's data errors or data entries that you're taking. The doctor preps the tooth. He's going to take the data that's on that tooth by an impression. He's going to take that data and then put it into an impression, and then the impression is going to be poured up at the lab. So all those are considered data entries, taking data and moving it down the road. Every time you take that data and move it down the road, you get errors. So impression material shrinks, it tears, it pulls. Die stone, if not mixed properly, shrinks. So all that, and most of the dentists, they all know this. Where you got a digital impression, you scan it, it stays the same. That same information you're sending to the lab stays the same what's in the mouth. So that is why you get so many different fits with crowns. Well, the impression looked good. Well, did you take in consideration the impression material? Did it change? Did the stone change? So along with comfort of a patient, I think you improve the fit of anything you're making.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I saw that firsthand.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, you're speaking to here something that's really important to me, and that's the quality of healthcare in general, quality of dentistry.
Totally.
And knowing now the importance, and having studied a little bit on the digital age of dentistry, especially as it pertains to the impressions, I wish back in December that I asked for the digital impressions. Would have been willing to pay a little bit extra to get the product more accurate, because it looks like I'm gonna have to go and get it redone, this device that I have. But to me, it seems like the digital age is improving not only the efficiency for the practice, but the quality. What would you say to that, Kelly?
Oh, definitely. Like, for instance, yesterday, I had to have one of my mills worked on, my Sirona mill and Patterson came out, the tech, and he also sells the Omnicam, and he's familiar with it. And he asked me, he says, Kelly, can you make me an occlusal guard? I said, yeah, when you're over at the Patterson store, scan yourself, send it to me. I'll print a model, and I'll make you for helping me out, I want to do this for you. So he showed up. I handed him this occlusal appliance. Everything's digital. And he put it in his mouth, and he said, oh, it's a little tight right here. I ground on a little tight over here. I ground on it a little bit. Boom. Wow, that's awesome. I mean, an occlusal guard that's probably one of the most difficult things to fit in a patient's mouth, other than a chrome framework. Those are tough things that doctors have to deal with. And this tech from Patterson working on my mill, he couldn't believe it. And I said, man, that's digital. So, yeah, accuracy is definitely improved.
Yeah, improved in the quality of all the restorations and things you guys are doing there at the dental lab. Super cool stuff. And I just want to get your thoughts on this, Dad, because I think you and I talked about this yesterday on the phone. Being in the industry as long as you have, what are your thoughts on the quality of dentistry in regards to practices working with PPOs? I know you've heard mom vent and stuff to us, right? I just want to know your opinion on it.
Well, I just got a new doctor today. He called me up this morning. He says, Kelly, I need to talk to you about on prices and da-da-da-da. And the insurances are killing me. What can you do? And what he was talking about is some dentures. And he says, man, some of them pay me like $400 and $500 an arch. And I said, well, Doc, about the only thing I can do is give you cheaper denture teeth. Now, and that works maybe for some people, but for the doctors out there that want to provide good quality care, some of these low-end denture teeth, you can actually take them. In fact, me and Dave, my denture technician, one day were sitting around. We had got some new cheap teeth in. We call them cheap teeth. And he said he grabbed a bicuspid and he rubbed it on our desktops, and it was, you could visually see that it wore the denture tooth to a flat edge. How long is that? How long are those teeth gonna last? Maybe a year inside the mouth.
Just a couple steaks.
So,
couple steak dinners.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So I told this doc, I said, Doc, I don't know what you want to do. I can get denture teeth for like $5 a card. Now, they're not good teeth. And he sat and listened to me, and he says, Kelly, I don't want to provide crappy, cheap denture teeth. I said, okay, then this is what I would suggest, and this is the price you're going to be, And then I handed him a flyer from Jordan's Boom Cloud talking about,
Nice.
What he can do to generate,
Less PPOs.
In-house, and generate, help me with the terminology,
Create an
Jordan.
in-house membership program.
Yeah. And he looked at me. I says, this is where you need to go. I says, because insurances don't pay you guys
Jack
nothing.
squat.
And I said, look, Doc, I don't want doctors calling me at the lab and say, look, Kelly, I want you to sell this crown for $90 a piece. Man,
Yeah.
I'd have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, that's what the insurance companies are doing to you.
Yeah. What's the average? What's the average discount, Ben, across the nation with PPOs?
Oh, at least, well, varies state by state, but there are some states as high as 43%.
Wow.
Wow.
Some fee schedule that I was reviewing earlier this week where doctors are writing off more than 50% with certain PPOs.
Oh.
And those are non-negotiated fee schedules. And
Holy smokes. Like you can't
so
negotiate them with what you do for practices?
Well, those are Delta Care fee schedules, capitation style programs, where even, some of the capitations it's more than that. I mean, it's closer to a 90% discount. And what I've seen in the industry in the 10 plus years that I've been around, which doesn't seem like a whole lot of time, but I've seen many labs just disappear. I've seen a lot of newer labs surface over the years, and a lot of doctors that used to use quality labs being, they have a business consultant coming in saying, look, you got to switch labs. You're paying way too much for your lab fees. And I'm like, my counter argument is, well, doctor, how do you feel about that lab? Is it a quality lab? Yes, Ben, I don't want to switch. I want to keep it, but my consultant is saying that I need to switch. So we've taught doctors on how to, pass on some of that cost to the patient in a way that makes sense for the patient.
Yeah.
Like my brother got a crown on a posterior tooth in Salt Lake City, and he was complaining about it. He's like, it's giving me headaches, and I just my bite is off, and it just feels really weird. I said, open your mouth. He opened it, and it was this bulky, chalky, white, ugly-looking thing. I was like, seriously, I could have probably shaped something a little bit better looking than that.
You probably could have took a dump, Ben, and made something better than that, right?
I know. My enemy's mouth, yes. My brother's mouth, maybe not so much. No, but I went and talked to the dentist, and he's like, look, don't tell anybody this. But for this particular insurance, I use this lab. For this insurance, I use this lab.
Yeah.
And what I found is that, he was using more the premium labs depending on what he was getting paid. And, I taught him a different method. I taught him on how to institute a material fee.
Yeah.
To allow the patients to choose the quality. You want something a little bit more high end, then this is what you need to pay. And that concept has helped a lot of dentists retain the premium labs, the good labs that they want that they want to keep, So running the risk of using a lab that somebody says, oh, use this, it's cheap, and then compromising on your quality, And I'm sure, Kelly, you probably have 1,000 stories like that with your experience.
Yeah.
I even have tons of stories that I remember, practices calling in wanting cheaper restorations, products from the lab because of the PPO, which I just don't agree with that, with what I've seen in the industry. So digital dentistry helps increase the quality, and then obviously getting smart. Talk to Ben about negotiating or understanding what you can do with the PPOs so that you can give the quality care, and then at the same time reduce your dependence on some of the PPOs that are out there, because you can offer way more to your patients, give them quality and a good patient experience, and that's what our industry is all about, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Dad, this has been an awesome episode. Before you go, I want you to tell everybody about the elk teeth story. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
This story has to be published.
Were you at the lab that day, George?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
So this old, I don't know, cowboy-looking guy comes in, and kind of a tough plaid shirt, cowboy hat. He walked in. He said, "Hey, I got a question for you." And I said, "Yeah, what's that?" He said, he pulls out of his pocket this Ziploc bag of elk ivory teeth. And he said, "Hey, could you make me a denture with these teeth on the posterior, the molars of my mouth?" And I looked at it. I was like in shock. And then the first thing that came out of my mind was, yes, I can do that. I want to do that. I want to see somebody wearing elk ivory teeth in their posterior on their denture. So we just kind of laughed about that. He never showed back up, so maybe he, I don't know, got a little wisdom and thought, well, maybe that's not good that I stick it.
Don't you remember when Dave started grinding them in the on the what do you call it?
The lathe.
The lathe, and how bad it stunk up the lab. It was so bad. Yeah. So
I had a lady one time come in, and she had this denture in her hand. It was huge. You could tell it was a man's. And she says, "Hey, my husband just died. Can you
realign
these dentures so I can wear them?" And I just thought, oh my goodness, no, so people are funny.
Yeah, people are really funny. And I mean, I saw the most funniest, the most funny people I saw come in through the lab. I don't know what it was. I'm sure you can agree with me, Dad, but there's lots of funny people that come through the lab.
Yeah, dentists see a lot of funny people too,
Oh yeah, I'm sure. So cool. Awesome. Well, this was an awesome episode. I'm super pumped that I'm able to get you on my show, Dad. This has been fun. So, Ben, Dad, do you have any
Yes, sir.
Do you guys have any final thoughts?
I'll leave it to Kelly. Kelly, you're the expert here on this digital age of dentistry. Love to hear. Yep.
I'm excited for it. I wake up every day. I tend to get into the lab real early because I like coming in peace and quiet. But I generally love my work and enjoy doing it. And I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for digital dentures coming out this year. Me and Jordan's twin, Justin, and his younger brother, Jake, we plan on going to a seminar with Sirona that to teach us digital dentures. I'm looking forward to that. And I just see the industry as being, there was a time that I kind of thought,
doom and gloom.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
I
remember.
But now it's just like, I'm excited that two of my boys are still in the lab business, and we're kicking it, and it's just a good time.
Hey, I can still do a crown.
Yeah, I bet you could, Jordan.
Yeah. I haven't for a while, but I'm pretty sure I can get on there and do it.
Yeah, if you need part-time work, Jordan, call me. I'll put you to work.
Yeah, I'll let you know, Dad.
All right.
Cool. Well, again, thanks for coming on our show, Dad. And just a reminder for everybody listening, Ben and I are doing our event here in November 2nd in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's called Insurance Anonymous. I believe, Dad, you're going to send Justin and Jake to come hang out with us, right, there at the conference, at our event?
Yeah.
I hope so, at least.
Yeah. So, somebody will be there.
So come out and go to saynotoppos.com/event-2018 and register with the promo code INS sucks. And stands for Insurance Sucks, Dad, in case you're wondering.
I know. Yeah.
So register, you'll get 50% off there for our event. Dad, if
Yes.
somebody listening wants to contact you and talk to you about lab work and digital dentistry, what's the best way for them to reach you?
They can call the lab. Do you want me to give the numbers?
Yeah, give the numbers.
The lab is area code 801-484-1750. That's the lab. They can reach me by email, and that's Comstock, COMSTOCK, another K for Kelly, at comcast.net, or get on our website, or dentallabsl.com, and communicate that way, and be glad to help in any way I can.
Yeah, awesome. So
Awesome.
reach out to my dad. He's got an awesome lab. They're doing some pretty cool things in dentistry. My dad also has spoken a lot with Patterson. They bring him on board to speak about digital dentistry. So he knows his stuff and he can help with anything. And even if you guys have you accept all sorts of files, right, Dad, from scanners like STL files and the CEREC files as well.
Yes.
So find him on CEREC Connect. If you guys haven't used CEREC Connect, I think it's a really cool tool to collaborate with the labs. Go find my dad's lab, Salt Lake Dental Lab, on CEREC Connect, and you can connect with him through there and send him digital cases and do digital dentistry together. So, Dad, thanks for coming on our show, man. You rock.
Yes, Papa Comstock.
Papa
It was great
Comstock.
having you. You have the knowledge and experience of somebody that I think dentists need. So I hope people reach out to you.
Did we lose him? Are you there, Dad?
He's probably like, I'm late for my lunch. It's just my son. I'm gonna leave.
I think we the call dropped. So
Oh.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and
Yep.
we hope you have a good day.
Rock on, everyone.
Hey everybody, this is Ben Tuine and Jordon Comstock. Real quick here, we wanted to announce our conference that's coming up here November 3rd, 2018 here in Salt Lake
November
City,
2nd.
Utah. Sorry, November 2nd. That's why it's always great to have a co-host. You like the still small voice in the back of my head. In this case, it was a nice bass sound. November 2nd.
November 2nd.
Yeah. So November 2nd, folks, check out our website, saynotoppos.com to register. Just click on the 2000, what does it say there? Events.
Yeah,
And
it's
then,
saynotoppos.com/event-2018. If you go to the homepage of our website, you'll see it right there at the top of the menu as well. So it doesn't really matter if you go directly to that link we said. Ben, should we share a promo code right now?
Yeah. So the promo code that we thought of is INS, abbreviation for insurance. So INS sucks. So INS sucks is the promo code, and you'll get 50% off if you register there. Anything else, Jordan?
No, that's it, man. We hope to see you guys there. Rock and roll.
Looking forward to it.